Hey everybody, it's fabulous, fantastic Friday. Now, yesterday was super fun, wasn't it? We made our cookies, we had our little tasting session, and it was super fun. But before we finished yesterday, I had asked you to do something. Now, when you've got all your resources ready, we are going to talk about what we are going to do today. So, see you shortly. Okay, today we are learning to write instructions on how to make gingerbread men or cookies. Okay, now yesterday I had asked you to watch a little video where Steph talks about writing instructions or instructional writing, and this usually occurs when you are doing some cooking. Now, he talked about using some equipment, he talked about writing instructions down so that they are easy to follow, and he talked about them being in a chronological order. That means in the order that it needs to happen. Okay, now if you would like to pause the video here and watch that video again, I have absolutely no problem, because we would like to do that in school today as well. So when you've done that and come back, we can move on. Excellent. Now that you're back, we're going to talk about the verbs that are used in instructional writing. They are normally called imperative verbs, and they are imperative verbs because they sound bossy. They are commands. They are a set of instructions that you must follow. Okay, you can't disobey them, because if you do, it most likely will mean that your recipe will not work. So that is why it's really important to follow these rules. Okay, now in our recipe we had words like sift, pour, mix, stir, shake, add, wrap, eat, put, lay. It's quite a few words. Now I would like you to pause the video here and see if you can add a few more to this list of imperative verbs or bossy verbs or commands. Okay, now when you've done that, we can move on to the next part of our learning. Wonderful. Now that you've made that list, and if you haven't managed to make a non-comprehensive list, please look at the previous slide on this video, because you can magpie some of those words. What I would like you to do is recall what you did yesterday whilst you were cooking, and you are going to write in chronological order, your bossy verbs to help others understand your recipe. Okay, so it might be that the first thing you did was washing your hands, so wash your hands. Okay, that would be your first bossy instruction, and your bossy verb would be wash. Then your next thing might be tie your apron or something like that on those lines. But if you just want to stick to the cooking part of the recipe, please start with what you did right at the beginning all the way to the end. Okay, when we've done that, we're going to look at what Mrs. Sweeney and her group came up with when we did our cooking together. All right, and then you can compare notes on about our bossy verbs or instructions to make the gingerbread man cookies. Excellent. Now that you're back, we have got a list of our instructions. Okay, now the first thing we did was sift our flour, and I've highlighted the bossy verb or the imperative verb in orange. Okay, so the second bit was to add the ginger. Third bit was to add cinnamon, and it sounds very bossy. Sounds a bit, sometimes you might even say, but they're not saying please or thank you. But that's the point of being a bossy verb. You are giving precise instructions, okay? So then you add the butter, okay? You mix until it looks like crumbs. Now you might say, Mrs. Sweeney, but you forgot all the key bits like wash your hands and wear your apron and measure your ingredients. Absolutely true. I have forgotten to make those key parts of our bossy verbs and in our step-by-step instructions. So if I have forgotten anything, please make sure that you don't do that. You add them in chronological order to your list of instructions. Then we've got beat the egg. Then we've got add it to the bowl. Add golden syrup. Stir until it forms a dough. Wrap it in cling film and put in the fridge. Take out of fridge. Roll and cut into cookies. Put on tray and bake. Cool them and then eat. Now, if that matches your list, that is great. If it doesn't, that's also fine. If you got a few things in a different order, just double check. But if I've forgotten something, please let me know what I've forgotten. But this is what imperative verbs are. They are bossy verbs. They are rules and instructions that help you follow a recipe. Or even if you're doing playing a game, there are a set of instructions. You have got to follow them in a precise order to help you play it the right way. Okay, now I hope you enjoyed doing that. I've got a little extra task for you. Now you've made your gingerbread men cookies and you've had a go at writing your instructions. I'd like you to make a sandwich or any recipe, like whether it's a pasta salad or just a cake even, anything that you feel that you can do with your adult at home. Have a go at doing that this weekend and maybe write some instructions out just so you know what imperative verbs are. Okay, and let me know how you get on. Now this is extremely important that you remember that it is entirely optional. It is not compulsory to do this extra task, just something that you might want to do so you can practice some more of those bossy verbs or imperative verbs that we've been learning today. And with that, we come to the end of our gingerbread man sequence, and it's been fantastic to be able to teach you some English and using our gingerbread man story to help you do some lovely learning on verbs. Next week we're going to start a brand new sequence with a brand new book or a brand new story, and I can't wait to find out what that's going to be. So when you're done, let me know how you get on, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.